Ladies and gentlemen, seekers of light and secret knowledge wherever you may be, you are listening to Points of Light Radio, the podcast dedicated to taking you past the apron and behind the closed doors of lodges everywhere. And here is your host, Stan Miller.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. Shalom, assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to be back with you and my guests here on Points of Light Radio and continuing our journey. And where would you like to go today? Well, I decided to continue our journey here by shedding some light on the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection. Just to give you some insight, the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection is a fraternal benefit society operating in the United States. The order has a two-level structure. Local units, where the members meet on a monthly basis, they are called assemblies. There's also a national body that meets semi-annually, and it's called the Most Excellent Assembly. Now, the Artisans are the oldest fraternal benefit society of their kind in the United States. At last count in 2017, the organization had approximately 6,000 members. And I'll let my guest explain a little further with this organization. And here to shed light on the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection is Bryan Werner. Mr. Werner is the Chief Executive Officer and past Most Excellent Master Artisan of the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection. This should be very interesting. Let's go talk to this gentleman. But are you still thirsty for knowledge? Are you still searching for the light? Then just trim your lamp and follow me. Hey, Mr. Werner, welcome to Points of Light Radio.
Well, thank you for having me on, Stan.
You are the Chief Executive Officer and past Most Excellent Master Artisan of the Artisans of the Order for Mutual Protection. Why don't you tell my listeners and viewers about yourself?
I'm sorry, what was that, Stan?
Why don't you tell my listeners and viewers about yourself first off?
Oh, yes. I work for the Artisans. I am one of, we have 7 employees here. I've gone through what they would call the chairs, and I reached the rank of Most Excellent Master Artisan, and that would be the equivalent of president of a company.
Okay.
Upon that, I was then asked to run the office here, so I was made general manager, and recently we changed our bylaws to fit more with the standard codes of the Pennsylvania Insurance Commission. So I am now the Chief Executive Officer of the company. So we have our fraternal end, and then we have our business end.
So basically, as Most Excellent Master, it's essentially, that's the fraternal aspect of it, you say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what would your duties be in that?
My duties at that time would be to visit the assemblies, appoint the deputies of the assemblies, and the assemblies are, most groups would call lodges. Ours are called assemblies.
Yeah. And
oversee that. We ran activities and trips. And then at the time, the Most Excellent Master Artisan also appointed the people who were on the board of directors to their positions, such as different committees, such as finance, mortgages, different entertainment, things such as that. That isn't done anymore, though, by the Most Excellent Master Artisan. Anything fraternal is still handled by him, but all business aspects are now handled by the Chief Executive Officer and the office staff.
Okay. Now, tell us about the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection. What are the qualifications to join?
Well, the qualifications are that you have to be a man or woman. We don't discriminate in any way, shape, or form, and be able to pass a physical for an insurance policy, or nowadays you can also buy an annuity or sign up as a social membership. So our memberships are open to everybody.
Okay. Now, your website says that social activities and fraternal activities are not one and the same. So, first of all, tell us about some of the fraternal activities of the Artisans of Order of Mutual Protection.
Yes, active members, those who come out to the meetings, the assemblies, they have their monthly meeting. And within those assemblies, they have a lot of activities. They'll run their trips, they'll do different things. They, like recently, the one group, St. John's, just had a ladies' night. They had some mummers in, the string band players, a cake baking contest, things such as that. The other activities would be trips or events that are open to everybody in the order, even if you do not come out to an assembly or you're not an active person. And we do cruises. In fact, we have one to Greenland coming up in 2 weeks. Different trips down the shore, to different places like Hershey, PA, or Lancaster. And again, that's open to everybody, and they would call the office and book through there. If it's something through the assembly, then they would just call their recorder, which is the secretary, and he would put them on a list, and the assembly would take care of that.
Okay. Now, what states are the Artisans in? Just Pennsylvania, or is it beyond that?
The artisans are in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and we took over the Polish Beneficial Association. We merged with them, so we do have members down in Delaware.
Okay. And what do the Artisans have a degree system?
What we have is we have an initiation and an obligation. It is all done on the same night, and all a person does is they are basically sworn in and given a brief history of the artisans.
Okay. Now, what effect did COVID have on the Artisans?
Well, we have a lot of groups, such as we have the Golden Artisans, which is our senior groups, our assemblies. They were not able to meet for a good year and a half. We were able to, of course, run up operations. We were declared an essential company because we deal with life insurance.
Yeah.
So the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection, the business end ran. The fraternal end had to go on a hiatus, a suspension until the restrictions were lifted by our city and state governments here in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Now, does the do the Artisans have a degree system, by the way?
No, when you are then obligated or initiated, that is it. Many years ago, when Dr. Bunn, Dr. Matson, and John McMurray founded the Artisans, they did try a degree system, a third degree, such as the
Yeah.
Masonic rites, and they found that many of the members were Masons, and they did not want to go through another whole degree program. So they shortened it down to what we have today.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, tell me some of the challenges that the Artisans face today.
Well, one of the big challenges for all fraternal societies is many people just do not come out to meetings anymore. It's a whole different world. The younger generations, they do everything on the internet or by phone. And years ago, if you wanted to really have a good time or meet people, you went out to meetings. So we are adjusting and adapting to things like that. We do have activities for our younger people. But again, the assemblies themselves, there are a lot less people that come out to our meetings than used to many years ago.
Okay. Now, what drew you to the Artisans?
Well, my great grandfather was in it, and my grandfather, and my mom, and now me.
Oh,
So we have several generations that have been in the Artisans, and you find that a lot of our members, it's even the older members, you'll find out their kids, their grandkids, their great grandkids, they are members. They sign them up, they start them young, they buy them a little insurance policy, and we have a whole bunch of junior activities, we call it, things such as Halloween, Christmas parties, we have a nice mall that we own here, and in the basement we have a game room with arcade machines and things such as that. So we run a lot of events to keep the children interested in the in our organization. Somebody just walked in. That's why I gave the silent signal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it sounds like it sounds like you're doing a lot of the right things there, and I appreciate your time today, Mr. Werner. Let you get back to what you were doing there, and thank you so much for your time today, and all the best to you and the Artisans.
Oh, Dan, if I could just mention too, as fraternal benefit societies, we were the first founded, but officially we are the second that was founded in the United States, and we're 150 years old this year. So I always say 150 years, that's pretty good for any business.
I hear you. And happy birthday to the Artisans, Mr. Werner, and all the best to your organization.
And thank you, and good luck with your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bryan Werner, brothers and sisters, shedding some light on the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection. Maybe someone can explain this to me. I don't understand how it is that the International Order of Oddfellows stopped offering benefits to its members, but the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection kept offering them. It's quite interesting. One of the big things I love about an organization such as the Artisans Order of Mutual Protection is how it really looks after its members at both the fraternal and social level. I mean, they go on cruises. Wait, what? I mean, that's beautiful. It really is. And I also love the fact that organizations like this one in particular, are the kind of organizations that the more you give to them of yourself, the more the more dedicated you are to them, the more benefits you will definitely reap from an organization such as this one. And I love that, right? I want to investigate some more of these types of organizations. I don't know about you, but I really do, right? There's a lot to really explore there. But before I go now, I want to remind you that this podcast is available on both YouTube and Spreaker. Please share, like, and subscribe when viewing Points of Light Radio on YouTube. And I do want to see more feedback. I do want to see more of your comments and input when I'm looking at this on YouTube. You can follow Points of Light Radio on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Points of Light Radio. You can see the link to my Twitter handle, which is at PO Light Radio. You can see the link to my Spotify channel as well as my Points of Light Radio Fraternal Store. But brothers and sisters, until we meet again, just step into the light.